The principle we have talked about it several times, Sat, Chit, Ananda. That principle, sometimes we cannot understand it. We need a model, we need a form, so we make a personal God out of it. But today I will be referencing few couplets from the Hanuman Chalisa. This whole journey is going from instinctual to intentional. You have to understand what is the mind and the basic nature of the mind. In the Vedantic philosophy, there is only one instruction, and it says, come to me. All the power is inside. The God is sitting very close in your heart, but we look for it outside. That's why it says, come to me, come within. Don't look for it outside. I'm sitting right here in your heart as the observer, as the witness. You think that a thought comes to your mind, but that thought is actually triggered by your memory. Why we think one is good and bad? Why we think one is right and wrong? Once we master these two, what is mastering? Just being aware. Detached observer, detached witness. By surrendering to this Lord, you will have no trouble. You can rest assured that all your problems will be solved. You may not get what you want, but you will get what you need. How do you come to that God? How do you connect with that God? So there are three ways. It says Ananya Chinta, Ananya Bhakti, and Ananya Yoga. Sometimes you first lose and it looks like that God did not listen to you. But if you have that Ananya Bhakti, you will know sooner or later that it was done for your best interest and you will get something in return. Gyarva Rudra Avatar is the sign of a mastered mind. He is an avatar of Rudra. We have mastered 11 things. What are those 11 things? I am the Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. I am the creator, sustainer, and the one that dissolves. Understanding that there is always a choice and you have perfect or 100% control over your intention, but not over the result. So all you can focus on is your intention. Now we have the 7 modules talk extensively about Hanumanji. Now let's come down to the psychology and how to understand and apply that. Okay, so the first part of the 7 modules was to understand the Hanuman archetype, because he is the epitome of a mastered mind or a mind mastered and a perfected self. And we talked about in various episodes, whether it was in the retreat or in one of these recorded sessions, that why he is chosen as a model, because that is who we are. We have one body and 3 minds. The one body, of course, is the body, and the 3 minds is it's called Kesari Nandana, Vayu Putra, and then Ramaduta. So this Shiva's son. The Kesari Nandana is the monkey mind. That is we have 3 stages. One is the survival instinct, which is our reptilian brain, the most basic, animalistic tendency. Second one is that one that corresponds to the Vayu Putra is the limbic brain, the emotional part of our mind. And third, the neocortex, prefrontal neocortex represents our superconscious, and which is the Shiva Putra. So all these are there. Most of us are somewhere between the Kesari Nandana and Vayu Putra, operating from an instinctual reactionary pattern. And some of us are in some level, but very few of us have gone towards Gyarva Rudra avatar. He is an avatar of Rudra, Shiva. And Shiva has 7 avatars to which he offered his Ravana. Ravana is our ego, very strong. And we talked about how Ram is our higher self, Sita is our mind-body complex, Lakshmana is our buddhi, Hanuman is the mind and the prana shakti that connects the higher and lower self, body and mind, and Ravana is our ego. So this Gyarva Rudra avatar is the sign of, like Shiva, a mastered mind, because we have mastered 11 things. What are those 11 things? You have 5 kleshas and 6 vikaras. Kleshas we talked about, avidya, which is ignorance, asmita, because of that there is ego, because of that there is raga dvesha, which is like and dislike. We are bouncing between I like this, I hate this, I like this, I hate this. We have no control over the mind. And finally that leads us to abhinivesha, which is fear of death. Death of what? This ego, this individual existence. And the 6 vikaras, the 6 enemies, we call it shad ripu also. Shad is 6, ripu is enemies. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So kama is desire, krodha when a desire is not fulfilled, anger, When desire is fulfilled, there is greed, lobha. When you have too much things, you have moha, disillusionment that this material world is going to give me permanent happiness, when it doesn't have the ability to do that. And when you get what you want, the name, fame, power, material success, there is mada, pride. And if you don't have it, matsarya, jealousy. So somebody who has mastered the 5 kleshas and 6 vikaras, that is 11 Rudravatara, 5 karma indriyas and the mind. So any which way you slice it, Hanumanji represents that image. Now we have the 7 modules talk extensively about Hanumanji. Now let's come down to the psychology and how to understand and apply that in everyday life, because we are not yet Hanumanji, it's just a model. To understand that, we have to understand what is the mind and the basic nature of the mind. The mind is a very powerful instrument. We are not our mind. That is the mistake we make. We have a body and we have a mind. And until you understand that, you will never be able to master the mind. So the mind is wild, like horses. And many references are made in the Vedas to mind to horses. And in fact, the Ashwamedha Yajna, you think about, most people, animal lovers say, oh my God, some thousands of horses were killed. Ashwa is horse. The mind is like a horse, wild horse. And Medha is knowledge, supreme knowledge. So when you do an Ashwamedha Yajna, you are sacrificing your basal animalistic instinctual tendencies. So understanding the wild mind, they're like wild horses, and unless you control the wild horses, you cannot think of mastering the mind. And this wild mind, or the has 4 qualities. One is chanchalam. It is not just fickle, extremely fickle. And all of you know, when you sit down to meditate, how swiftly your mind changes from topic and subject to subject. You start, even for 5 minutes, you cannot focus on something. In fact, in the personal development world, they say 17 seconds, if you can focus on something, miracles can happen. But even we don't even have that much control. Swiftly it moves. So chanchalam is not fickle, but extremely fickle. Then comes pramathi. Mind is chanchalam. Second character is, which is the wild mind. Second characteristics, pramathi. Matha is churning, manthanam, sagara manthanam. And churning, meaning it agitates and disturbs. But what part of the mind agitates and disturbs? Only the negative thoughts churn, not the positive ones that make us feel content. And why does it churn? Because the mind is identified with the body. The body is dependent on various external elements, people and other things, which are not in our control. So all the mind thinks about is how to keep the body secure. It is stuck with the mind-body complex. That's why we have this something called negativity bias. Left to itself, the mind will always fear, always be anxious, always be angry, always be resentful, because these are ways to preserve the body, preserve the ego. So pramathi. Next comes balavat, extremely strong. The mind is extremely strong. And in one of the sessions, we discussed about comparing that to Bali, how Ram had to kill Bali hiding. And I won't go into the details of that, but it's strong, so strong that when we try to control the mind, we realize the mind has a mind of its own. It doesn't easily submit to your control. It's a very strong instrument. It's like a nuclear power. You have to be very careful how you handle the mind. And then comes drudham. It's stubborn. It's so, you want to do something, it doesn't want to do it. You don't want to do something, it will force you to do it. So it's very difficult to withdraw the mind from something which is not good. In fact, there is a shloka that Duryodhana uses, and I've said that in one of the modules of the Hanuman workshop. Janami dharmang nachame pravriti. I know what is dharma, the right thing to do, but I'm unable to do it. Janami adharmam nachame nivriti. I know what is the wrong thing to do, but I'm pulled, almost dragged to do it. So this is the state of an untrained mind, not a mind that is mastered. This is the nature of the mind. Now, today, I will just explain a mantra, and time permitting, we will chant it together. But I urge you to memorize this mantra and chant it, because what is the need for mantras? Why are mantras so powerful? Because man is mind, tra is a tool. these mantras are perfected sounds, perfected visualization, perfected goals, that if you can focus on it, you move towards it, and at some point you become it, or you imbibe it, or you cultivate it within yourself. So this mantra is Manojavam Maruta Tulyam Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhi Matam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanara Yut Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadye. So the meaning is, I take refuge in Sri Hanuman. Hanumanji is the archetype we're working towards. May not be in this lifetime, but you have to inch towards it. So I take refuge in that archetype. I've set an intention, set the GPS that I want to move towards this archetype, Sri Hanuman. I pray and salute the one who is swift as thought. Maruta. Maruta is wind. Tulyam, it's like wind. And wind is the most powerful of the 5 elements. Why? Because we cannot see it. What are the 5 elements? Earth, water, fire, air, wind, space. Wind is the only thing you cannot see, but it creates havoc, right? Like a tornado. Even with all the advancements, science can only say tornado is coming. It cannot protect you. It will say evacuate, evacuate. Mind is like that. You can't see it, but you can only see the havoc it creates, right? So Maruta Tulyam, it's like an uncontrolled tornado, cyclone-like wind, power it has. And the only way that can be controlled is Jitendriyam. When you learn to control your Indriyas are your senses, Jitendriya, getting victory over your Indriyas. What happens when you control your Indriyas? Buddhi Matam Varishtam, your intellect, your buddhi, not just knowledge. The ability to discriminate between right and wrong becomes expanded and fine-tuned, moves you toward mastering the mind. Buddhi matam varishtam, vatat majam vanaram. Vatat, the mind, that same mind, which creates so much havoc when not under control. Vanara yukta mukhyam. So Sri Hanumanji belongs to the Vanara. We normally dismiss it as monkeys. No, every word in Sanskrit has a meaning. Vanara has 2 words, Va and Nara. Va is Vanaprastha. The root word is forest, deep, dark, subconscious. And Nara is human, our sentient being. So somebody who has moved from the Pashu, from the animalistic tendency towards human mind, which is intentional, not instinctual, is called Vanara. And he is the mukhya of that. He is the one who controls all these animalistic tendencies, subconscious, shadow, self. That is the archetype that controls it. How? Sri Rama Dutam Sharanam Prapad. By surrendering to that higher power. You cannot control the lower animalistic tendencies on your own. Ain't gonna happen. You have to have the stamp or the protection of a higher power. And what is that? The ultimate. Ramaduta. To that power, I'm also surrendering, because we cannot move towards this archetype without the protection and guidance of that higher self, higher power. So this mantra, when you read, I will put this meaning there. Think about it. This is the archetype I'm moving towards. And that archetype takes this uncontrolled wild horses like mind and conquers it by conquering the Indriyas. And by conquering the Indriyas, what happens? Tremendous wisdom. You access tremendous wisdom. And that wisdom only comes by the blessings and guidance of this power, that is Sri Ram, a higher self. Now, I've talked about this, but I'll just mind. Remember, Vayu Putra. We have 3 basic things that we want to work with, meanings of Hanumanji. Main type is Hanuman. Man is ego, individuality, that I am different from the world, I'm different from the God, and so I have to protect myself. Hana, to destroy that concept. Ego is edged God out. No, I am that. And compare that to Abhiman. Abhiman, what we say, we have so much Abhiman, you're so steeped in your ego. So that is one thing. Vayu Putra, this is a mind which is your best friend and your worst enemy. You have to control it. And in Bhaja Govindam, those who attended, I will remind you, what was the analogy that was given? There is the horses, and here is the charioteer. In between is the mind, the reins. That mind has only one rule: I will go wherever I get joy. If your intellect, buddhi, is not developed, which convinces you, persuades you of a higher possibility of joy, you will be pulled towards the external world through your senses. So that Vayu Putra, you have to understand what you're dealing with. And the other thing is Sri Ramadutam. That part also we will be focusing on in these 5 sessions, that we cannot do this on our own. We need to surrender to a higher power. You can call it any name. Ram means inner bliss, higher peace. That's all. You can call it by a different name, would make any difference. Now, how to control the mind? We have to start with that. Only 2 things are required. Very simple, but extremely difficult to execute. Understanding is very simple. One is abhyasa of vairagya. Two things. Remember 2 things. Abhyasa, vairagya. Abhyasa is practice. Vairagya is detachment. And we have discussed at different workshops the meaning of vairagya. It's not that you do not enjoy the world. You are not obsessed and stuck and attached to the world, to the objects of your senses. So vairagya is a detached observer. Extreme attachment is the cause of all our problem. What is that we know? So many times we've discussed raga, dvesha. Craving, aversion. I like this, I don't like this. If you don't understand that, like a ping pong ball, you'll be going back and forth. No question of mind mastery. So extreme raga causes attachment, which is, and the solution to that, extreme raga causes suffering, pain and suffering. And the solution to that is vairagya. You will enjoy everything, you will experience everything, but you will not ping pong between I love this, so I'll have more of this. I don't like this, so I will avoid this. So in Sanskrit, the word for happiness is sukham. Sukham. Kham is space. Su is good, auspicious. So your whole goal should be, I want to experience everything without saying, I love this and I will run towards it. I hate this, so I'll avoid this. Just like many people go to a horror movie and they enjoy it. Many people drink and smoke and do drugs, which destroys the system, but they enjoy it. I'm not saying you must enjoy it, but understand there is no good and bad, no right and wrong. So this attachment, to destroy this attachment, in Mahabharata, Krishna is given a name, Madhu Sudana. Sudana is the same as destroy. Madhu is cravings. It's easier to avoid things you don't like. It's easier to say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Don't take alcohol and drugs, don't cheat people. It's a little bit easier. It's very difficult to say, don't be attached to your family, don't be attached to your children, don't be attached to your mother, don't be attached to your spouse. Very difficult. That is why instead of saying Kaitava Sudana, it's Madhu Sudana. Krishna, you need that higher power to tell you that how you can be in the world but not of the world. Like that in Bhajagovinda, we talked about the water droplet in the water on the lotus leaf. It shines, it's enjoying it, but in a moment's notice, it can drop it. That's how we should be. It's not that we should not enjoy, but we should be able to, when it goes, let it go without pain. So now vairagya from what? Detached observer from what? We are extremely attached to 3 things: vyakti, vyastu, paristhiti. Vyakti are people. Vastu are objects, things, car, house, money, stock, whatever. Vyakti are people, our family members, loved ones. And paristhiti, situations. We like this position, we like this vacation, we like this comforts of the house, whatever it is. You must become aware that this is where lies the point. This is where the root of the problem is. My extreme attachment, unhealthy attachment to vastu, vyakti, paristhiti. And one of the practices you can do within these 5 weeks is make a list of all the things you think you can't live without. And understand, because eventually you will have to work on that. But now you're not even aware. You take it for granted. Of course, we're supposed to love the family. No, we're supposed to love our people. We are supposed to do charity work. We are supposed to eat good food. We are supposed to do yoga. Yes, you're supposed to do all of that. But tomorrow, if you're not able to do it, it cannot shake your peace. So that's what is. Now, how is raga created? Raga is the problem we have established. Extreme attachment. And that attachment to what? Vastu, vyakti, paristhiti. Now, how is this raga created? This concept that this is good, so you must keep on doing more and more of it. It happens, it's a 4-step process. The first 3 steps happen so quickly that unless you're aware, you won't even know it's happening inside you. One is cognition, second is recognition, third is sensation. These 3 happens like zip. An untrained mind, it happens so quickly, you don't even know there are 3 steps. And ultimately, you can either react or respond. If you are not aware of these 3 steps, you will end up reacting. You have no choice, no option to respond. But once you become aware of cognition, recognition, sensation, you will train yourself to respond. And we know that respond is better than reaction, because reaction is creating the same situation, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. Respond is your ability to respond to a situation. Animals don't have that ability. What is cognition? Cognition is when our mind, through our senses, for the first time connects with the sense objects. So for eyes will connect with things to see, ear will connect with things to hear, nose will connect with things to smell, tongue will connect with things to eat. So that is the cognition. That part, there is no problem. It has to be. We have to use our sense organs to experience the world. Then comes recognition. The first time, there's no problem. The second, third, fourth, 50th, millionth time is we realize that, this is blue color. I like blue color rather than green color. This is sweet. I like sweet rather than fried stuff. I like my family more than other people. That is the recognition that you like or you dislike. Because first time you don't know what to make of it. You don't even know whether you like or dislike it. That is cognition. That is called mindfulness. That is called, when you do it consciously, it is called the detached observer. For the first time, I don't know what to expect. Second, third, millionth, billionth time, I know this I like, this I don't like. Then comes the sensation. You make a library of experiences. All these things I like, I crave. All these things I hate, I will avoid. That is where the problem starts. Once you do that, you will react. No matter what, you will react. So you have to, at this third step, you have to, even the second step is okay. First is, I don't know what to expect of this person, this situation, and this object. Second is, I like this and I don't like this. That's fine. You are entitled to like and not like, but you're not entitled to be obsessed. Because I like this, I want this again and again and again and again. And because I don't like this, I don't want it ever. That is where the problem starts. Because once you are able to bring fortitude and equanimity, you will realize you are in the sukham state. Su, good acceptance of kham, the mental capacity to experience everything without craving or aversion. Okay, so that's what it is. Cognition, recognition, sensation. Become aware when you are meeting somebody for the first time, never met them before. You are in the cognition set. You are okay. Second time, they say something, do something you don't like. Remember that, okay, now the two things have started, like, dislike. That's also okay. You are entitled to like and dislike. Third, because he said something I didn't like, I will be mean to him. I will avoid him. That is the problem. That is not mind mastery, because you don't know how that person is here to help you, what you can get and learn from this person. So the third step is where you need the mastery. And mastery only comes when you're aware what is happening. And then responding. He hurt me. He gossiped about me. He stabbed me in the back. So what? That's his thing. What do I choose? Do I want to react because he did it, I will do it? Or do I want to respond and say, I can avoid this person, not because he hurt my ego, because it's not in my best interest right now. But sometimes people who don't like you can also help you into learn, like a bad or a dissatisfied boss. You can avoid the boss or use that to say, what is he saying? What quality in me is not perfect that I can work on? Because if you keep on avoiding all the people who give you the harsh truth, you will never grow. You will surround yourself by sycophants who tell you you're beautiful, wonderful, and God's gift to mankind. And that's where stops your growth. So that part of it. So how raga is created, we talked about this. Next is, I will remind this again and again, and you remind yourself again and again. There is only one rule for the mind. It goes where it gets happiness. Okay. And happiness, we have redefined happiness, not this a lower understanding of happiness. Only what I like, I will get. What I don't like, I will avoid. That is a lower level of happiness. We want, our goal is sukham. Su is all encompassing, auspicious. Kham is space. Ability to experience everything without craving and aversion. So here I will remind you another name of Hanumanji. It's called Kapi. Kapi is a monkey in common parlance, but it has a significant, Sanskrit meaning. Ka is ultimate joy, and P is Pibata. You're drinking that. So Hanumanji is constantly in connection with that internal unconditional joy, which is Lord Ram. Ram is that inner joy, bliss. So Kapi is you having the ability to experience and accept and not lose your cool, lose your equanimity when things don't go your way. That is the Kapi principle. So unless the mind has tasted a higher concept, a higher possibility of joy, which is the unconditional joy, which is Lord Ram, the archetype of Ram, it will constantly crave the joys, the lower level joys, the transient, finite joys provided by the senses. So constantly being aware that if my mind is not focused on Ram, it will be focused on the Vishayas, Brahmananda versus Vishayananda. Vishayananda is the joys, the impermanent, finite joys of the world, which will give you tremendous joy, but it will go. It will definitely go, and when it goes, it will give you suffering. Other than that, you can train your mind, your intellect to focus on a higher concept of joy, because we talked about it. Nothing has in and of itself has the power to give you joy. And the example we give is, you may be enjoying a movie, you may be enjoying a meal, you may be enjoying the best scenery in the world, but when you get news that a loved one is dead, immediately that scenery, that food, that thing loses its ability to give joy. Why? Because it never had the ability to give you joy. The ability for joy is within. Once you understand that, you can bring it to everything. That is how we can enjoy a horror movie also, because the horror movie is not enjoyable. We have decided to enjoy that. So that decision you can take everywhere to enjoy everything. Acha, why the difference between Sukha and Shanti? Sukha is comfort, bodily comfort. Shanti is peace for the mind. And between the two, both are necessary, but both are inversely related, connected. The more Sukha you crave, the more comfort you crave, the less Shanti you will get. And the more Shanti you work towards, you will have to compromise on the Sukha. Meaning, if this person is not there, if this thing is not there, if this situation is not there, I can still be at peace. And why is Shanti preferred over Sukha, higher level of joy? Because Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 66, it says, there is no knowledge of the self to the unsteady mind. Unsteady mind is what? Untrained mind. And to the unsteady mind, no meditation. If your mind is unsteady, chanchalam, pramathi, balavat, drudham, there is no meditation. And to the unmeditative mind, there is no peace, because it's jumping back and forth, back and forth. For peace, you need equanimity. And to the peaceless mind, how can there be any happiness? So you can go backwards. For happiness, you need peace. For peace, you need meditation. For meditation, you need to make the mind steady. So backward or forward, whichever way you go, you have to understand that mind mastery means equanimity, not raga, dvesha, craving, aversion. Craving, aversion, if your mind is doing that to you, then you have lost control. There is no mastery. Far from mastery, you're a slave. So Sukham. Now we have established Sukham is better than, or Shanti is better than Sukham. Sukham is pleasure. It's okay. You can enjoy a good meal, you can enjoy a good company, you can enjoy a good vacation, but your happiness is not dependent on it. If tomorrow that meal is not there, that person is not there, that situation is not there, you cannot lose your equanimity. And so Sukham, pleasure is okay. Raga is what? Extreme attachment is not okay. That if this doesn't happen, I'm not happy. If this person is not in my life, I'm not happy. And we establish, how is raga created? Cognition, recognition, sensation, and reaction. So become aware. At which stage will you remind yourself, stop? Sensation. that because I like this now, I must have it all the time, and I must have it again and again and again. Because if you don't have that, neither that object or the person or the situation has the right to be permanent, nor you have right to it. So if you don't understand that, you are condemned to be suffering. Because an abhyasa of raga, practice of raga. I like coffee. Every day I have to drink coffee. I like somebody's company. I want that person in my life, come hell or high water. I want traveling. I must travel to the fanciest places in the fanciest. That is the abhyasa, practice of raga. What does it create? It increases the intensity for it. So for a change, imagine you've never had coffee. First time you drink it, you like it, nothing wrong. You want to drink it again. That is recognition. And again, and again, and again. By practice, you have created that without coffee. After 20 years, I cannot live without coffee in the morning. Same with people, same with situation. Becoming aware of that. So abhyasa of raga creates an intensity of raga, intensity of attachment. And intensity of attachment leads to addiction and slavery. That without this thing, without this person, and without this situation, I cannot exist. I cannot be joyful. It's a mind, state of mind. You have decided it. You have created a groove by again and again and again going towards something you like and avoiding something you don't like, even though it's good for you. So thinking that I am incomplete without this vastu, vyakti, paristiti. And in Bhaja Govindam, we touched upon this. I will remind you again, when the mind is not mastered, how do we handle with the information from the world? 3 different ways. Indulgence. Keep on doing whatever you like. Keep on doing it. End of the life, your teeth are not working, eyes are not working, head is not working, body is not working, organs are not working, but we cannot let go of it. That is indulgence. Next is suppression. From the beginning, not required, not required. I will not enjoy the world. And what happens is like a pressure cooker or a suppressed spring. When your willpower is going a little low, and it will sooner or later, it will go down, you will implode or explode. And the third thing is distraction. I will do this, I will do that. What you need to do, you cannot do, distract yourself either through wrong means, alcohol and drugs, or even through good means, going to this tirtha, that pilgrimage, that puja, this vrat, continuously. Instead of dealing with your problem, did Hanumanji ever, what was the 2 things, one thing similar between 2 people, Hanumanji from Ramayana and Arjuna from Mahabharata? That is what? Phalguna Sakha. Phalguna Sakha. Phalguna Sakha. Have you ever seen them sit and meditate and pray the solution will come? Never. You have to do your job. So that is, don't distract yourself that if I keep on praying and transacting with this power, giving money, charity, do good, be good, my problems will be solved. No, it did not get solved for Hanumanji, neither it got solved for Arjuna, nor will it get solved for you. So avoid indulging, avoid suppression, avoid distraction. Then how do you deal with it? Sublimation. In Sanskrit, it's called pratipaksha bhavana. So the 4-step process. Identify there is a problem here. Acknowledge, yeah, it is natural, nothing wrong. Everybody has it, I have it. I'm in the process of training. Identify, acknowledge, then you choose to release that problem or deal with that problem. It will not go away on its own. Mind left to itself has a negativity bias. You choose to release that negativity bias and choose to what? Activate a confirmation bias. Not what I don't want, what do I want to focus on? So the way to do that is to reverse the process of, this cognition, recognition, sensation, and reaction is a 6-step process. First is introspect daily. This is the first step. It cannot be, I cannot over stress how important that is. That you cannot avoid this step or, go to the next one immediately. So your mind is the subject of your study. Understanding I am not my mind. Creating that little distance between me, the thinker, and my thoughts. So whether you do that through just sitting and thinking or meditation or whatever it is, but creating that space so that you can examine your mind. It's called introspect daily. Second step is detect diligently. So when you detect, you must be very sure that to thine own self be true. Please don't put on that blinders like Dhritarashtra was born blind and Gandhari chose to be blind. This is the step where you choose to unblind yourself. Whenever you point fingers at somebody, this person is the problem, this person created this, understand one finger there, four fingers here. So to thine own self be true and be a silent observer of the machinations, manipulations of your mind, the motives, the intentions, the purpose that lie behind your every thought, speech, and action. We say, oh, we want to do it because, I want to give a gift to this person because I love it, unconditional gift. No, 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 no. Very few gifts are unconditional. Or I'm helping this person because I just like to help this person. No. Ask yourself, what do I expect? If tomorrow I have given this person money, name, fame, contact, this, that, and if the person doesn't return the favor, will I be okay? If you're not okay, then you have a motive. What is that motive? Understand that motive. So introspect daily, detect diligently. 3 is negate ruthlessly. No ifs, buts. I am the problem. Problem doesn't lie there. My personality is creating my personal reality. No vastu, no vyakti, no paristiti, no object, no person, no situation has the power to make me happy or unhappy. So negate ruthlessly. And this detect diligently phase is like when you go to, I give this example all the time, when you go to an event and you record the event, that machine records everything. It doesn't say, I don't like this person's picture, I won't take, if they're standing next to the person, somebody you love. So when you are parading your thoughts, what is the introspection? You're asking your thoughts to parade at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. And then you say, you don't do the editing there. The editing will come at the third stage. Negate ruthlessly. Every time you say, that person cheated me, that person is responsible for my lack of success, that person, is responsible for my bad reputation. No, no, no. Only I am responsible. Negate ruthlessly. Then comes substitute wisely. That substitute wisely is called pratipaksha bhavana, or in modern psychology called cognitive reframing. Nothing is happening to me, it's happening for me. I have invited all these teachers into my life. Now I have to understand what is the lesson they're trying to teach me. That is the thing that calls substitute wisely. When you do that, what happens? You will grow steadily and you will live happily. So now, how to do the cognitive reframing? Everybody keeps asking. Understand, the concept is very easy to understand. Practicing is a little more difficult, not little, very difficult. Having a coach or a mentor or a guru or a family member who's really wise can help you, or a good friend. Now, cognitive framing is understanding what causes sorrow and suffering. And we have established that raga, extreme attachment to vastu, vyakti, paristiti, causes suffering. So, understanding that every time I keep on interacting with a certain thing, whether it is drinking coffee in the morning or hanging out with my best friend or just going to a spa, whatever it is, understand the more and more and more and more I do it, I am creating abhyasa of raga. I am practice of attachment. And when I'm attachment, my buddhi, my ability to discriminate goes out the window. So understand what you're doing. You may choose to continue to do it. That's your choice. But what the acharyas, what the rishis say is understand what's happening. That this raga is causing, every time you enjoy somebody's company, some object, some situation, say, okay, enjoyment is okay. But if I crave that, if I want that again and again, it is going to give me joy, this understanding. Then this will take away my joy. And attachment causes poison. It may be sweet poison. Coffee may be sweet poison. Your children and lovers may be sweet poison. Your name and fame, but poison nevertheless. Attachment will eventually lead to, because it will go. We have established that things made out of the 5 elements are finite and transient. It will not stay. And when it will go, you will be miserable. Now, second is merely observe your thoughts as well as your your strengths as well as your weakness. When you do this, introspect daily and detect diligently, what are you doing? Okay, here I acted as I wanted to act. Here I acted less than optimal. Don't self-castigate yourself. Don't, it's not a fault-finding exercise. Just a detached observer. Okay, this is okay. I don't have to worry about this kind of situation. This around in the area of food, in the area of relationship, in the area of career, I am less than optimal. Why? What is less than optimal? I crave something and I'm averse to something. Instead of being sukham, the ability to experience everything without losing my calm and peace and equanimity. So understanding where you reacted and where you responded. You just have to set an intention and watch it. And it's a slow progress, but you will see progress very quickly. I reacted. Somebody said something and I couldn't stop myself. Immediately, I had to give a reply, retort. Then I'm not a mastermind. The mind did what it wanted to do. It did not do what I wanted it to do. I'm not even aware what I want to do. It just acted. Second is respond. Somebody hurt me, somebody cheated me, somebody did this. I did not react. Does not react doesn't mean you allow it to happen again and again. You will draw the boundaries and you will make sure that thing does not happen again without losing your peace of mind. Then, after you observe your strengths and weaknesses, where you are instinctual and where you are intentional, where you are reactive and where you are responsive, what do you do? Again, remember, Ramaduta, you cannot do this on your own. You need the help of a higher power. Whatever name you give, that power is irrespective and immaterial. Ask God or your higher self to overcome the weakness. I overeat. I am harsh with my speech. I cheat people. I don't tell the truth. For whatever reason, don't fault find. Oh, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. No, you're not a bad person. These are just traits you need to overcome. You ask that power. That's why that mantra. What was the mantra that we asked? Where is it? Sri Rama Dutam Sharanam Prapadye. We are surrendering to the higher power that take this monkey mind and make it a mastered mind. Take the monkey mind and make it Hanuman. You need the help of a higher power. Whatever that power is, whatever name you give it, but that power is not you yet. So ask your God higher self for power to overcome your weakness, and at the same time, be grateful for your strengths and ask for forgiveness for your weaknesses. You must be grateful because we think that, oh, we are beautiful. So it's like a God-given gift. Yes, it's a gift. We have born into a very powerful family. It's a gift. You have no right to it in the sense that you cannot create it on your own. Or you have intelligence. You didn't create it. It was given to you. So be grateful every day. And in my personal coaching, whoever have done it, they go through these exercises. You must be grateful for your strengths and you must ask for forgiveness for your weaknesses. Then one of the activities that I would recommend is introspect and diligent category activities. Sit quietly and observe. When you're doing this introspection, one of the ways you can do it is sit quietly, put a timer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however many minutes you can dedicate to it. Start small segments, increase it later on, and just watch where your mind is wandering. Because that is the clue. The mind will never go towards neutral things. It will go toward things you always love and go toward things you never love, you hate. Mind left to itself is go towards things you love and go away from things you hate. That will give you the clue what you need to work on. What do I hate? What do I love? That is where the raga is, the attachment is. And I have to slowly detach it. So, because mind always gets pulled towards hate and love, because they're two sides of the same coin, hate and love. Dispassion is, you can enjoy it, but if it's not there, it's not the end of your world. That is your goal, by the way. And then read a poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. That's, they say, in other words, in the modern world, how to enjoy the, and Ragini will make a copy and put it there, the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. Third is understand when you're doing this thing, your mind is going towards raga or dvesha, craving, aversion, because it will never stay neutral. A non-mastered mind cannot be neutral. A wild mind will either go here or there. Understand raga and dvesha, craving and aversion are two sides of the same coin. They come together. They don't come together. So every time you love something, understand behind it is a hatred. Any moment that love can turn to hatred. And anytime you hate something, it can also be turned around to love. When we say we hate that person, we'll never forgive that person, never. No, extreme raga has caused this. And understanding that wherever there is raga, there is bound to be the 6 enemies. They all come together. They don't come separately. That's why they're so formidable. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. What is raga? Desires. So every time, that is kama. Every time you fulfill a desire, there is, or rather, every time your desire gets obstructed by anybody or anything, there is raga, dvesha, anger. Every time your wish gets fulfilled, there is lobha, greed, and moha, disillusion. Oh, more. This gave me 2 cups of coffee, gave me so much joy. 2,000 cups of coffee should give me much more joy. At some point, you will have some health condition that you cannot enjoy the coffee, and then you're going to be miserable. So, kama, krodha, raga, moha, mada, matsarya. Once you get everything that you think you've got, then that pride, I'm better than other people. Or you don't have the things that your neighbors and family has, then matsarya, jealousy. So both ways you're going to suffer. Now, what is true happiness and freedom? We're talking about a mastered mind. Why do we want a mastered mind? Because it will give us happiness and freedom. We have to understand what happiness you understood. What is sukham versus ordinary concept of happiness? What we want, we get. What we don't want, we don't get is happiness. Sukham is ability to experience all the experience in the world, all the people, all the objects, all the situations without losing your cool and peace of mind. Now, freedom. We say that freedom to say whatever we want to do, freedom to eat whatever we want to do, freedom to wear whatever we want to wear. That is not freedom. That is your mind running you, tail wagging the dog. Your mind is getting you all twisted in its finger. Freedom is not freedom to do something, but freedom from my mind. I want to do this, but I won't do it. I don't want to do this and I will not do it. That is the freedom. Janami dharmang nachame pravriti. I know this is bad, this is good, but I'm not able to do it. That is not freedom. Freedom is I know this is good, I will do it. Janami adharmang nachame nivruti. I know this is bad, but I'm pulled. I cannot stop myself from doing. Why? What freedom is that? You must know this is wrong. I will not do it. And this is the 2 things that you have to understand. There is dharma and there is attachment. The whole life is mind mastery is a play between these 2 things. And the 2 characters that are given, or rather 3 characters, one is Arjuna, one is Duryodhana, and one is Bhishma. For Duryodhana, there is only attachment, raga. He doesn't give a damn about dharma. He has no problems. They don't want to master their mind. For Bhishma, he has only dharma and no attachment. It's not just attachment, but some sort of a goal to move towards. So he also doesn't have any problem. Arjuna is like most of us. We are always caught between right and wrong, good and bad, right and wrong, good and bad. And what combination? Nothing is right. I mean, for right and wrong and good and bad is different for every person. So this is what we need to figure out. How much raga is, like I said, raga is not bad. You must enjoy life, but you cannot be wedded to it. You cannot be obsessed with it. And when it goes, you cannot lose your calm. So that was what is freedom, happiness we talked. Now we talked about what is freedom. And in Bhaja Govindam, remember one thing it says, Yoga rato va bhoga rato, sangha rato va sangha. Whether you are enjoying the world or whether you are in a hermit mode, whether you are with people you love or whether you are alone, that should not impact your joy. Nandati, nandati, nandati eva. What is that? The image given was Nandi, the bull sitting in front of a Shiva temple. The mind is also not only like a monkey, not only like a horse, it is also like a bull. One of the characteristics of mind is a bull, lusty. One bull is required to impregnate all the cows in a village. Meaning one sense can get you impregnated with all the objects of the world. Until you bring that lusty and lazy mind, and bull is very lazy, and single-minded focus on Shiva, Ram, Jesus, Allah doesn't matter, then you will enjoy the joy from within. You don't object, not Vishananda, joy from the objects, but Brahmananda. Last topic for today is, last thing I want to discuss is how to develop Vairagya. Because what we said, the problem is of a untrained mind, unmastered mind is extreme attachment, not just attachment, extreme attachment, raga. And the solution is Vairagya, which is detached enjoyment. You enjoy, but you're not wedded to it. And abhyasa, vairagya, you must practice that vairagya day to day, from the moment you understand till the day you die. There is no stoppage to that. And how do you develop that vairagya? First is painfully become aware of how much raga is disturbing your mind. Everything you love and hate, understand that it will cause you pain. Reminding yourself that with raga comes kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So too much attachment paralyzes our ability to take proper decisions. And next session, we will talk about how to take proper decisions. But the first step is understanding that if I allow my raga to run unchecked, there is no decision making. It paralyzes that sarathi. If it has no control over the wild horses, the horses will take the the chariot wherever it wants to go. That charioteer must establish control over the horses, the indriyas, through the reins. That is the mind. Second, reminding yourself daily, I alone am responsible for my life, for my joys, and especially for my unhappiness and miseries. I alone am responsible. And as long as you're pointing fingers at others, you have not started the journey towards mind mastery, because you have no control over them. You have 100% control over yourself. So the day you say, I am miserable because of me, the world is perfect. The objects are perfect. The people are perfect. I do not understand. I'm entangled. I have become a slave to this. And I have to change or correct myself. I cannot change and correct anybody else. I need to change and correct myself. Unless you understand that, there is no mind mastery. 3, meditate on the impermanent nature of the world. Reminding yourself, I love this coffee. Tomorrow, coffee may not be available. I like this person. That person may die or leave me or walk away. I like this house, this car, this position, it may not be there tomorrow. So enjoy it today. Nobody is saying don't enjoy. But if you expect it to be permanent, be ready for misery. And that is what in Bhaja Govindam, what does it say? Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadva jivitam atisaya chapalam. All these things, money power, manpower, muscle power, is impermanent. You can enjoy it when you have it. When you have the strength and body and energy, enjoy it. But know that it will go. When you have the money, enjoy it. Know that it will go. When you have the people around you, enjoy them. But know that they will leave. Whether either they'll die or they will walk away from you after they teach the lesson that you need to learn. So be prepared and be at peace. Then vairagya is not something to be shown outside, but known inside. This suppression. I don't want this, I don't want that, I won't get married, I want to eat this. That is not vairagya. Vairagya is knowing I can eat everything, but I can walk away from it. I can be with anybody, but if they leave me, that's not the end of my world. So it is something to be known inside, not shown outside. In fact, you must practice vairagya for yourself, but raga for others. Let your family members know how much you love them. Let the people and employees and everybody around know how much you care for them, how much you respect them. You must do that. But inside, know that this will not last. You don't have to tell them that because you want to be with me all the time. I won't love you. I won't serve you. I won't do anything for you. That's ridiculous. You must serve everybody as, they must think that, oh, you love them and you respect them. But you must know that, yes, I do all that. But I know today or tomorrow, it will go. When I do not know, but I am prepared. Then bhakti abhyasa, not only vairagya abhyasa, bhakti abhyasa. Because how did this raga come? We were practicing raga every day. I like this, so I want more of it, more of it, more of it, more of it. You have to do the opposite, which is unless the mind has tasted higher joy, it cannot let go of the worldly joys. And the example I'll give you is like an acrobat in a circus. It's holding a ring and coming, it wants to jump. Unless it sees the other ring, can it let go of this ring? No, it will fall and crash. Neither here nor there. So how do you see the other ring? Unless you practice devotion to that higher power, whether it is Rama, Jesus, Allah, doesn't matter. And when you practice daily, and that is the Navada Bhakti we studied in Bhaja Govindam. If somebody has not done it, I urge you to go through the course, either MPM's course or any other course. But do understand Bhaja Govindam. Navada Bhakti. If you do it, you will suddenly realize that you are establishing control with a higher power. And miraculously, things are getting resolved and taken care of. Because unless you taste that, you cannot give up this worldly MP3, money power, man power, muscle power. You cannot give it up. It's just simply not possible. You cannot take away a candy from a kid without giving him something else, which is better than the candy. Same with us. Unless it has tasted Brahmananda, it will not give up Vishayananda. So that practice bhakti. And there are not just one form, 9 forms of bhakti, which you must do. So mind is constantly craving happiness. If you don't give it higher happiness, it will go towards lower happiness. There is no mind mastery. Mind has taken over back its own control. So this state, once you start doing this abhyasa towards bhakti, devotion to a higher power, you will realize that you're getting more and more content and a sense of fulfillment and faith that all is taken care of. Only then will you stop craving the impermanent joys of the world. Okay. And in Bhaja Govindam, what does it say? Balastavat krida sakta, tarunastavat taruni shakta, vriddhastavat chinta sakta, parame brahmani kopina sakta. In childhood, we are obsessed with toys. Young adult, we are obsessed with love. Old people obsessed with worries. When do we create the time to abhyasa for bhakti? Do that and see what it brings. Then without bhakti and only vairagya, mind will be suppressed. When you, that suppression principle, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want to be attached, I don't want to be attached, but you've detached yourself from the world, but you have not attached yourself to anything else. Sooner or later, you will fall through the cracks. You will neither here nor there. So vairagya cannot be practiced by itself without abhyasa. For vairagya must be coupled with abhyasa for bhakti. Otherwise, it won't work. Only one prong will not help. And again, we started with this, we'll end with this. Instead of the joy it gives, remind yourself of the pain it will give you. Anything you love. What are the things? Vastu, vyakti, paristiti. Tell yourself, if I'm obsessed, it will bring me joy. If you don't remind yourself, it's just like when we drink, we know 1 glass of wine is okay, 2 is okay, 3 is okay, 30 bottles later, we are going to die. Will we drink 30 bottles of wine? No. Similarly, you have a good time with your friend, you have a good time with your children. You have now 18 years to spend time with your children. After that, let them go. They don't belong to you. Your only role was to create a nurturing and a safe environment for them. After that, they're on their own. Same with the husband. You are together. Putrate kriyate bharya. Together, you are here to give birth to and raise the next generation of human beings. After that, both of you should, if not both, at least you should start walking towards vanaprastha. All my life, I'm not going to be stuck in this world. If you come, that's fine. If you don't come, I'm going to go no matter what. So then you will find that the mind is if you do all these things, you will find that the mind is no longer wild, that, monkey mind, constantly fickle, which is chanchalam, pramathi, churning, negative energy, negative thoughts, constantly spiraling you down. Balavat, strong, making you do things you don't want to do. Drudham, stubborn. You want to do something, it doesn't allow you to do it. Those things you will realize are resting at the lotus feet of the Lord. What is the Lord? The higher principle, the higher power, silent, disciplined, and content. So this is the analogy. When you look at Sri Ram and Hanuman, you have to understand there are 3 types of stages of Hanuman connecting with Lord Ram. One is you're constantly seeing him doing work, which is that holding that mountain. Whenever you see Hanumanji ka, that avatar flying with the mountain in hand, action, karma yoga. And whenever you see that picture of Hanumanji, when he tears open his heart and Ram, Lakshman, Sita are there, mind, body, intellect are integrated and sitting in your heart, understand that is bhakti yoga. And whenever you see Hanumanji meditating, it's gyana yoga. So this mind has 3 minds. Animal mind, Kapi, son of Kapi. We are all born with monkey mind. Then second level is Vayu Putra. We understand, unlike the animals, we understand how powerful the mind is, but we have not established control over it yet. It does what it wants to do. Sometimes we enjoy, sometimes we suffer. Finally is Shiva Putra. He's a Anksha, a son of Shiva. That is completely mastered mind. Rudra Avatar, 11th Rudra Avatar. That is the archetype we're working towards. It won't happen overnight and it won't happen by itself, but you have to work towards it. You must have an archetype. You must connect with that archetype through chanting, through meditation, and you must practice. Whatever that archetype does, you must practice. He does all these things. His mind is not chanchala. His mind is not pramathi, going towards negative spiral, Hanumanji's. His mind is not, his balavat, but under his control, not the control. He is not under the control of his mind. And he is not, his mind is not drudam. If he doesn't want to do something, his mind cannot make him do it. So we have to practice all these things. So that's it for today's talk.